everyone, it's Lee from Coco Crochet Lee, and today we're going to be learning how to make the diamond headband pattern that you can see here. A cute ear warmer, a headband, and a perfect way to learn the diamond crochet stitch, which we'll also be learning for my Molly cabled blanket crochet along. Let's get started. For the diamond stitch headband pattern, we're going to be using Lion Brand Woolies yarn. It's a medium weight yarn, and then we're also using a 5mm crochet hook, or whatever crochet hook you'd like to use in order to obtain gauge. So let's get started with our diamond stitch headband. To begin our diamond stitch headband, we're going to begin by chaining 14. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Now you're going to want these chains to be slightly looser because it's going to obviously match up on the other side of our ear warmer / headband on the other side. So you don't want it to be super tight, just to match the tops of stitches in half double crochet on the other side. We're going to do a row of half double crochets across. So beginning in the second chain from the hook, we're going to half double crochet in the first stitch and then half double crochet across in each stitch. So because we're half double crocheting across, you're going to end up with 13 half double crochets as our base for our diamond stitch headband. The diamond stitch itself goes across 9 stitches, and that's the same for the headband that we're working on now, as well as the Molly cabled blanket that we're going to be working on together for our crochet along. So if you can remember that for this headband tutorial where we're learning how to do the diamond stitch, that the diamond stitch itself only takes place over 9 stitches, and we're just adding a little bit of an extra little edge to it for our headband. And so we're half double crocheting across, placing our final half double crochet in our last chain, and then we're going to chain 1 and turn. So let's do this setup row of our diamond stitch headband. So now we're ready to set up the diamond stitches for our diamond stitch headband. The diamond stitch takes place over a series of 9 stitches, and we're putting 2 stitches on either side as a little border. So we're working across 13 stitches altogether. We've chained 1 already, and now we're going to half double crochet in the first stitch. Now you'll notice that all of the stitches for the half double crochets are leaning off to the left. So just keep that in mind when you are doing your stitches for the diamond stitch pattern, because we have our posts of our half double crochets here on the bottom. You can see all of the different posts. And then for the tops of the stitches, you're going to look to the left of each post, and that's where the stitches are occupied. So for example, this first half double crochet, you can see the post of it, and then the top of it is here to the left. This is the first stitch, and when you look at the tops of the stitches, you can see those sideways V's. That's number 1, 2, 3, etc. So on the bottom, you can see the post, 1, 2, 3. You can see the tops of the stitches off to the left of the post, so 1, 2, 3. So that's how to orientate yourself in order to get those stitches in the right spots, because we're going to be working on the posts, but we're also going to be working on the tops of the stitches as well. For the beginning here, we're going to start by half double crocheting in the first stitch. You're going to yarn over, insert your hook into the first stitch at the top, yarn over and draw up a loop, yarn over again, and draw through all 3 loops. That's your first half double crochet. Now we're going to do a front post double crochet on the second stitch, and we're going to work that on the post, so not in the top of the stitch, but on the actual post of the stitch. Again, we're going back and forth between working in the tops of the stitches and working on the posts. So for this front post double crochet, we're going to yarn over, insert your hook from front to back around the post of the half double crochet, yarn over, draw up your loop so that you have 3, yarn over and draw through 2, and yarn over and draw through 2. So that's your first front post double crochet. Now we're working our 9 diamond stitches, our 9 stitches for the diamond stitch pattern, I should say, and they take place across the posts and the tops of the stitches. Now, if we're looking at the next 9 stitches, you'll again remember that we worked this front post double crochet on the post of this half double crochet, but the top of the stitch is here to the left of it, right? So when we're counting stitches, this one is already occupied right here. So that means that 1 and 1, 2 and 2, 3 and 3, 4 and 4, etc. for our 9 stitches, okay? So for our first stitch of our diamond stitch pattern, we're going to wrap twice, yarn over twice, for a front post treble crochet. We're going to skip the first 2 stitches of our next 9, so skipping 1 and skipping 2. And on this third stitch here on the post, we're going to complete a front post treble crochet. So you're going to insert your hook from the front to the back around that post, yarn over and draw up a loop so that you have 4 loops, yarn over and draw under 2 loops 3 times. So that's a nice stretched out front post treble crochet. And although we hooked it onto this third half double crochet here, this stitch actually takes the place of the first of our 9 stitches. The top of it, you'll notice, is off to the side. It's stretched way back, and it takes the place of our first stitch here for our 9 stitches. Sorry, this one right here. So when we do our single crochets, we have to single crochet in the next 3 stitches. This front post treble crochet occupies the first stitch in our 9 when we're looking at the backs. And so we need to single crochet in the next 3 stitches, so 1, 2, 3. So we're skipping this first stitch because it's occupied by the front post treble, and we're going to single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So leaning your stitches so you can see the sideways V's, you're going to insert your hook, yarn over and bring up your loop, yarn over and bring it through 2. So that's our first single crochet, 2, and 3. So now we're ready to do our front post treble crochet 2 together. So we're making the other half of this diamond and starting the first half of the next diamond. So what's going to happen now is you're going to wrap twice for a front post treble crochet. You're going to insert your hook around the same stitch that we did our first front post treble crochet from front to back. Yarn over and bring up a loop. Yarn over and go through 2 twice, so not 3 times because we're not finishing the stitch entirely. We're going to wrap twice, again for a front post treble. We're going to skip the next 3 half double crochet posts that we see on our row here. So 1, 2, and 3. We're skipping these 3 to leave space between the diamonds. So skipping 1, 2, and 3. And you're going to front post treble on the next one. So inserting from front to back, yarn over and bring up your loop. So now you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and go through 2 loops twice. So you'll have 3 remaining loops. You're going to yarn over one more time and bring it through all 3 to finish that front post treble crochet 2 together. It's a long name for a stitch, and it's a really nice one. It stretches obviously from the left to the right, and it creates both of the bottoms of those diamonds there. So although this stitch looks really complicated and has a lot of parts, it's actually only 1 stitch when you look at the top of it. So if you're looking at those sideways V's, it only counts as 1 stitch on our working row here. So you're going to look again behind, and we have these remaining stitches to do for our 9 stitches. This front post treble crochet 2 together takes the place of this stitch right here, the next half double crochet on the row. So this is occupied now. And we're going to single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So skipping this one because it's occupied by the stitch we just did, you're going to single crochet 3. Whoops, I lost mine. Put it back there. The great thing about crocheting is that when you lose your stitch, you can pick it up really easily. So 1, 2, and 3. And then for our last stitch in our 9, we are going to front post treble crochet to finish this diamond on the same post as the front post treble crochet 2 together where it reached before. So you're going to wrap twice for a front post treble crochet. We're going to insert our hook around the post of the same stitch that we worked in before, from front to back, yarn over and bring up a loop, and then you're going to yarn over and go through 2, 3 times. So 1, 2, and 3. So those are the bottoms of our diamond stitches there. You can see the V and then the V. And just to finish off our little edging, we are going to, in the last 2 half double crochets, you can see the posts of them here, we're going to do a front post double crochet. So wrap once for a front post double, insert your hook from front to back, yarn over and bring up your loop, yarn over and go through 2 twice. And again in the last one. So you've set up your base for your diamond stitch headband. You may need to watch that a few times in order to get it right. You can reverse the video and watch it again. But we have our half double crochet at the beginning, which takes the place of a front post double. It's just a little easier to do in the first stitch. Our front post double, which is mirrored on the other side with our 2 front post doubles. And then we have our 2 diamonds that are beginning to grow. So let's do the return row. For our return row for our diamond stitch headband, we're going to begin with our chain 1, and we've turned our work. And we're always going to begin with a half double crochet in the first stitch, just because it's easier than trying to front post or back post in the first stitch. It's just too fiddly. So we're going to use a placeholder, which is the half double crochet. Now, because we made those front post doubles on either side, we have to mirror them on the back. So now we're going to do a back post double crochet. So it works very similarly in that we're going to wrap once. This time you're going to head to the back of your work, come in from the back to the front, push that post backwards, and that's where we're going to yarn over. So yarn over, bring up your loop so that you have 3, yarn over and draw through 2 twice. So basically you've pushed that post backwards, and it looks the same as the front post double crochet, just worked the opposite direction. So now we are working across our 9 diamond stitches, our 9 stitches of our diamond pattern, and you can see them here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And all that's going to happen for these, super easy, we're just going to double crochet across them. So a double crochet here and across each of the next 8. So 9 double crochets all the way back across. Kind of makes up for the fiddly beginning of our diamond stitch pattern. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, get that tail out of the way, and 9. So 9 stitches across the back of our diamonds, and when you do the cabled blanket, just remember that when you're working across those diamond stitches, it's 9 double crochets back across them. And you can look at the front to see where you are, because it'll be bordered by these front posts, right? So then you can see, oh, you have the 9 stitches coming up. So looking back at our working row, our return row here, we have our 2 stitches left, which were the post stitches on the sides. So we're going to wrap for a back post double crochet. From the back of your work, push that post backwards and yarn over and bring up your loop. Yarn over and go through 2 twice for the back post double crochet, and we're going to do that again. So wrap for a back post, come in from the back and push that post backwards. This one's a little trickier because it's the half double crochets on the side, but you can still get it in there. And we're going to back post half double crochet. So that return row is going to be the same no matter where you are in your diamond stitch pattern. The return row is going to be exactly the same every single time. So let's work on building our diamond stitches. So we're ready to continue working on our diamond stitches. We're going to start by chaining 1 for our new row, and we're turned, so we're looking at the right side of our work again. So now we have the bottoms of our diamonds, and we want to basically build the top. So what's going to happen is we're going to begin our border with our half double crochet, our placeholder, And then you're going to front post double crochet on the front post double crochet here. See how the front post, back post, front post all looks the same from the front? Okay, so now we have our 9 stitches. So now what's going to happen is we're going to build the tops of our diamonds. You're going to single crochet in the first 2 stitches so you can see the post and you can see the top. Post, top, post, top. So we're going to do a single crochet in the first 2 tops. So 1 and 2. And now we're going to do a front post treble crochet 2 together, and it's going to attach to this front post and this front post, but it's only going to occupy the next stitch. Remember that it's only 1 stitch, so it's going to occupy this next post or this next stitch in our 9. So you're going to wrap twice for a front post treble. Insert your hook around this side of the diamond. So right under the whole post of it, you can really like lift it up. And you're going to yarn over and bring up your loop. So you have 4 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and go through 2, 3 times. Sorry, only 2 times. 2 times. That's my correction there. Only do it 2 times because we're doing a front post treble crochet 2 together. So if you only do it 2 times, then you have 2 loops remaining on your hook. Now we're going to yarn over twice for the rest of our front post treble crochet 2 together. And this time you're going to put your hook under each of these posts here to lift this part of the diamond up because we want our diamonds to all be attached. So I'll show you again. You're going to put your hook under this chunky part of the diamond stitch here where both of these posts meet. And you're going to yarn over and draw up your loop. So you have 5 loops on your hook right now. So then we're going to yarn over and go through 2 twice. And then we're going to finish this stitch by yarning over and going through 3. So you've made the top of that diamond and it only counts as 1 stitch. So we're going to look at the back here. It counts as this stitch and we're going to single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and 3. So now we're going to do that front post treble crochet again. We're going to wrap twice for the front post treble, go under this part of the diamond, this big chunky part where we front post treble crocheted 2 together before, so under the whole thing. You're going to yarn over and bring up your loop so that you have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over and go through 2 twice, leaving two loops on your hook. Yarn over twice for the other front post treble crochet, and we're going to put our hook under this post of the diamond, this last one. So under the whole thing. You're going to yarn over and bring up your loop, and then yarn over and go through 2 loops twice so that you have 3 loops left. Yarn over and go through all 3. See those diamonds appearing? So again, this only counts as 1 stitch. It only has 1 top. So if you're looking at the back, we're skipping this stitch because it's occupied by the front post treble that we just did. And we're going to single crochet in the next 2, which are the last 2. So 1 and 2. So that's all 9 stitches. So we did 2 single crochets, the front post treble crochet 2 together that made the tops of the diamonds, 3 single crochets in the middle, the front post treble crochet to finish the tops of the other diamond, and then 2 single crochets to finish it off, which mirrors the first 2. Now we're just going to finish off our border here by front post double crocheting around the last 2 stitches. So now that everything is kind of set up, it makes it a lot easier to see where everything goes. And we'll get this fiddly half double crochet done. And then you're ready to do your return row again. So we'll do the return row and I'll meet you back to do the next row where we set up our diamonds again, but it's a lot easier because there's already diamonds that exist. So we're going to be working on the tops of these. So now we're ready to work the bottoms of our diamonds again. And now that we have our diamonds set up, it makes it a lot easier. So we're going to half double crochet in the first stitch. and front post double crochet on our border. And now we have our 9 stitches ready to go. So we're going to do the bottom of our diamond here by wrapping twice for a front post treble. You're going to put your hook under this top of the diamond, our front post treble crochet 2 together here. And we're going to yarn over and bring up our loop so that you have 4 loops. Yarn over and go through 2 loops 3 times. And if you remember, this stitch takes the place of our first stitch when we look at the back. So we're going to single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So this stitch is the front post treble, and you're going to single crochet 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to do a front post treble crochet 2 together. So you're going to wrap twice for the front post treble crochet. Insert your hook under the top of this diamond here, under the whole thing. Yarn over and bring up your loop. Whoops, I dropped mine. So yarn over and bring up your loop, so you have 4 loops. Yarn over and go through 2 twice, leaving 2 loops remaining. Yarn over twice for the other part of the front post treble crochet 2 together. We're going to insert our hook under the top of this diamond, under the whole thing. Yarn over and bring up your loop. Yarn over and go through 2 twice, so you have 3 loops remaining, and then yarn over and go through all 3. So that is only 1 stitch when we look at the back, so it belongs here. And we're going to single crochet in the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to do our last front post treble crochet. So yarn over twice. You're going to insert your hook under the top of this front post treble crochet 2 together. Yarn over and bring up your loop. Yarn over and draw under 2, 3 times. And then we're just going to finish our border by front post double crocheting in the last 2 stitches. So 1 and 2. Okay, and so you're going to complete your return row. I'll do the same, and we'll do our stitch row one more time to do the tops of these stitches, and then you can continue working the headband pattern. So continuing our headband pattern one more time, we have our chain 1 at the beginning. We're going to half double crochet in the first stitch, front post double crochet on our border here, and then we're ready to do the tops of our diamonds. So you're going to single crochet in the first 2 stitches, and now we're going to front post treble crochet 2 together. So we're wrapping twice for a front post treble crochet, putting our hook under the first part of our diamond here, under the whole thing. Yarn over and bring up your loop, yarn over and draw through 2 twice. Yarn over twice for your front post treble. Insert your hook under the whole thing of this front post treble crochet 2 together. Yarn over and bring up your loop, and yarn over and draw through 2 twice, and then yarn over and draw through all 3. You're going to look at the back, skip the first stitch because it's occupied by the stitch we just did, and you're going to single crochet 3. So 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to front post treble crochet 2 together again. So we're going to yarn over twice, insert our hook under the whole part of this front post treble crochet 2 together, yarn over and bring up your loop, yarn over and draw through 2 twice, yarn over twice for the other half of our front post treble crochet 2 together, insert it under the other part of our diamond, yarn over and bring up your loop, yarn over and draw through 2 twice, and then yarn over and draw through 3. Then you're just going to single crochet in the last 2 stitches. So this one is occupied by the front post treble crochet 2 together we just did, and you're going to single crochet in the last 2 stitches. and that leaves your border left. So you're going to front post, double crochet twice. So I'm going to continue building my diamond pattern, and you can do the same, and then we'll meet back to join our headband together. One of the last things we're going to do for our headband is we're going to just add a little bit of a finishing edge to our sides here so that they just seem a little bit more even and have a little bit less of a chunky bumpy edge to it. So you can see here, if I flip mine around, that I added just a single crochet to each of the row ends going down. So you're going to slip stitch onto your side, and we're just going to put a single crochet in each of the row ends all the way down. So I left off here to show you. So you can see all of my kind of bumpy row ends going across, and you're just going to insert your hook and do a single crochet around each of the row ends all the way down, just to put a straight edge on everything and make it seem a little bit nicer. And when you get down to one of the sides, you can single crochet, chain one, and single crochet across the edge here so that you don't have to fasten off and then fasten back on again. Sorry, I dropped my stitch there. So just single crocheting in each of these little row ends at the end here. All the way across. So this is obviously the underside of our starting chain. One more, and then I'm going to chain one, and you can go across the other side. Just working one single crochet in each of these row ends all the way across to make the edge nice and even. So then I'll show you how to join your ends together and you have a completed headband. So now that you have your edges completely done, there's a nice single crochet edge along the sides. Your headband is ready to attach together. So I'm going to show you how to do one of those twisted headband sewing together. The twisted headbands that you see everywhere, they're really cute. So I'm going to show you how to do that. It's really easy. So basically what we're going to do is with the inside facing, or sorry, the outside of the headband facing you, so that we're sewing the wrong side, we're going to fold each of the ends in half so that you know where the middle is. And we're just going to insert one side into the middle of the opposite side so that you're kind of creating an S, and then fold that all together. Does everyone see that? So it's basically kind of a big S. So I'm going to show you again before we sew it together. So you have both of your edges kind of folded in half, and this side is going to go into the middle of the other like that, and this one gets folded just like that so that they're all kind of held together just like so. And then you're just going to sew those 4 edges together. And again, this is on the inside. I should have threaded my needle before. I'm going to hold it like that. There we go. So just with your yarn tail, we're going to sew all of these together through all of the thicknesses. So I'm going to see where this comes out. Perfect. Sew through everything. Through all of the thicknesses of each of those ends. And this is going to turn into one of those twist headbands, which is really, really cute. So sew it nice and tight. using your yarn tail. Of course I lost mine. I'm going to rethread it again. Until you get all the way to the other side. And then when you flip it back again, you're going to have a cute little twist in the middle of your headband. And then you're all set. So you have your beautiful diamond stitch pattern and a cute headband ear warmer. So you're going to weave in that end and then you're all set. Thanks so much for joining me for this crochet tutorial for the diamond stitch headband. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and a like, and you can join me for 2 more crochet patterns for the headband before we start our Molly cabled blanket. See you next time.